In today's realistic society, your size and appearance seem to speak louder than your personality. It will leave the first impression people have on you. You cannot deny that good-looking people usually get better chances and opportunities. In this video, let us talk about the weight loss facts that secretly talk about. Even though all of this may be true, we are taught that losing body fat would enhance our lives, make us healthier, and make us feel more confident. There are some aspects of weight reduction that no one likes to discuss. These aspects are brushed under the rug because they contradict the fitness industry's narrative, which is that losing weight and burning fat always works out in the end. In this video, I'm going to go through some weight loss truths that no one tells you but you should know, and the first one is the prevalence of body dysmorphia in fitness. You'd think that as you lose weight and develop a more aesthetic-looking body, you'll get happier with the way you look, which would increase confidence in all other areas of your life. I've seen firsthand how easy it is to get into the mindset that your body is never good enough. Some of the most insecure, socially awkward, and self-critical people I've ever met have been bodybuilders and physique competitors with amazing-looking bodies. Most people would kill to have a body like the very fit-looking people you see in magazines and competitions, but little do they realize that their bodies are never good enough. Keep in mind that while bodybuilders are obsessed with little flaws or even non-existent flaws, so are regular people who just want to be in better shape. While data shows that only about 2.5% of males and 2.2% of females in the United States suffer from body dysmorphic disorder, the prevalence of body dysmorphia is far higher. That's absurd, especially given this is an obsession that interferes with everyday life and may lead to depression as well as harmful choices like crash dieting, being bulimic, and taking steroids, so try to keep a level head and create realistic objectives that emphasize your health as much as, if not more than, your appearance. Another disadvantage of weight reduction, that you may not be aware of, is the problem of extra skin. When you accumulate a lot of body fat, your skin becomes stretched, and if it stays stretched for a long time, the skin loses part of its elastic components, resulting in a loose skin appearance when someone loses a significant amount of weight. Keep in mind that not everyone will have additional skin after losing weight. Factors such as your genetics, age, the length of time you carried the additional body fat, and the overall amount of weight you dropped, all have a part in how your skin appears. Following that, those who have either held extra fat for a long time or who have lost a significant amount of weight, such as 100 pounds or more, are more likely to acquire droopy skin. Weight training is one of the finest natural preventative measures you can take for loose skin, so instead of simply dieting and doing cardio, make sure you include resistance training as part of your weight reduction workout plan. Another fact that you won't hear much about is that restrictive dieting or being too lean can cause reproductive issues, including but not limited to erectile dysfunction. If you're one of the many people who has tried to figure out how to go under 7% body fat, I can almost guarantee you that if you're successful at becoming that lean, you'll have erectile dysfunction. Don't get me wrong, being overweight or obese is bad for reproductive health, since excess body fat raises estrogen and lowers testosterone, but few people realize that being too lean may do the same thing. For example, in a study that looked at the hormonal profiles of male bodybuilders, for 6 months before and after the competition, the bodybuilders were able to reduce their body fat percentage. This is why most natural bodybuilders lack sexual desire. The good news is that testosterone levels return to their baseline level of 9.91 nanograms per milliliter over the weeks and months after the competition, so the negative effects are not permanent. However, unless you are planning on competing, you might want to avoid going. Also, for optimal hormonal health, make sure you're eating enough fats while you diet, and never let your fat intake go below 20% of your total calorie intake. Next, many people believe that skinny people are genetically blessed because they have a fast metabolism, but heavier people do not. Has a propensity to be obese people who maintain a lower body weight have quicker metabolisms, which makes sense when you think about it. The more mass you have, the more energy your body will need to sustain and move that bulk around. The second thing that no one tells you is that if you exercise for long enough, you will almost certainly injure yourself, and regrettably, no amount of stretching, mobility training, or correcting your form will eliminate this chance of injury. We may look at some statistics. For example, between 1990 and 2007, over 970,000 people were treated in emergency rooms for weight training-related injuries, and 114 of them died. Now, keep in mind that 114 deaths over 17 years are a small number, so you're almost certainly not going to die when lifting weights, but an injury is a risk. When it comes to strength training specifically, the chances of sustaining an injury when lifting weights have been measured at a rate of 2.4 to 3.3 injuries per thousand training hours in 2012, and if you're training about 5 hours a week, you'll hit 1,000 training hours in 4 to 5 years, so you should almost expect some form of minor injury throughout that period now. Another major fact about losing weight that most people are unaware of is that cardio is not the most effective way to lose weight. This was demonstrated in a meta-analysis of 14 other studies, including just under 2,000 overweight and obese people, which found that isolated aerobic exercise, or cardio retraining, was not the most effective way to lose weight. Another meta-analysis that focused on cardio found that adding cardio to a diet plan did not result in more weight loss than just dieting without any cardio at all. The difference in weight loss was just 0.3 kilograms, which is negligible. There are a few reasons why cardio isn't ideal for a weight loss. One is that it restricts energy expenditure, which means that it often clogs the arteries. Resistance training, on the other hand, does not create limited energy expenditure, which is why it is typically more successful for weight reduction and body composition in general. This isn't to say that you shouldn't do any cardio at all. Rather, recognize that research shows that resistance training is more beneficial than cardio for losing weight and keeping it off. Another thing that no one seems to tell people who are trying to lose weight is that your intake of micronutrients, such as vitamins and minerals, is just as important for weight loss as your intake of macronutrients. You've probably heard that losing weight is all about burning more calories than you consume, which is correct, but it doesn't mean that you have to be in a calorie deficit. That's because they're all involved in processes that affect your body composition in some way. For example, not getting enough zinc can reduce thyroid production, which can prevent weight loss by slowing down your metabolism, and if you're zinc deficient, this effect may be significant. However, getting adequate micronutrients, such as zinc, is essential. Another example is calcium, which helps your body burn fat for fuel, which is why some research suggests it might help you lose weight and avoid regaining lost pounds. Another weight loss success: most people are unaware that not all types of stress create weight gain. It's typical to believe that stress causes weight gain and pain, but stress does not cause weight gain on its own. Acute stress can help you lose weight, since it suppresses your appetite. This makes sense, since it triggers the fight or flight system, and when that system is active, your body is more concerned with remaining alive than with eating food, resulting in a reduction in appetite. It's chronic stress, however, that you should be concerned about, since it depletes your willpower, making it more difficult to stick to your diet. Chronic stress is more likely to make you grab junk food. Since junk food stimulates the production of feel-good opioids, which lowers cortisol by inhibiting something called the HPA axis, people who are always stressed self-medicate with unhealthy foods to cope with that stress, causing them to consume too many calories. Last but not least, steroids are much more common at the gym than you may believe, and many individuals who want to lose weight wind up taking steroids without realizing that if they're taken wrongly, they may have significant negative effects. It's estimated that 2.9 to 4 million Americans aged 13 to 50 have used steroids. Most beginners associate steroids with muscle growth rather than fat loss. However, research shows that creating an androgen deficiency by lowering hormones like testosterone increases body fat, but increasing testosterone has the opposite effect and aids fat loss. For example, research suggests that about 32% of people who use steroids get addicted to them. Most people are also unaware that when they stop using steroids, they often experience withdrawal symptoms, which can include fatigue, loss of appetite, restlessness, insomnia, decreased confidence, reduced sex drive, and sexual irrationality. Furthermore, research shows that steroid withdrawal can lead to depression, which can lead to a variety of other issues. The worst part is that steroid use can cause long-term or even permanent damage to the endocrine system, which might make someone dependent on steroids for the rest of their lives, or result in side effects such as low libido and erectile dysfunction. Thank you for watching. Subscribe, like, leave comments and hit the bell icon for another exciting and informative videos ahead. See you to our next videos.